My daughter is joining the company, so I need you to resign. Today is your last day." Those were the unexpected words I heard from the president on the morning of the 15th. I was completely taken aback, unable to find the words to respond. The 15th was the day we usually paid our suppliers, and while some payments were done through bank transfers for our long-term suppliers, I'd also made direct payments and personally visited some of them as a courtesy. "You look like you can leave right away. I'll give you the day off, just for you, so you should leave quickly," the president added. He practically pushed me out of the office, and the door closed with a sharp snap right in front of me. I stood there in shock, not knowing where to begin or how to argue my case. "My name is Julie. I joined this family-owned paving company straight out of high school and have worked here as a clerical worker for 11 years until just now." The company had around 35 employees, and when the current chairman was still the president, the workplace atmosphere was wonderful. It was a comfortable place to work. The chairman, now retired, used to closely collaborate with the younger employees, and his wife, Olivia, would come in daily to assist with various tasks until he was hospitalized. Their daughter, Maria, was skilled in both fieldwork and office tasks, and her husband was the site manager, respected and trusted by all the on-site employees. Even though they were the founding family, they never acted superior or looked down on us employees. It would have been wonderful if this enjoyable and smooth-running company life had continued, but reality had other plans. Unfortunately, at the end of last year, the chairman was diagnosed with cancer during the company's group medical examination. Due to his health condition, he decided to retire as president and appointed Maria's husband, the site manager, as the next president. Both the employees and I fully supported this decision. We all agreed that the chairman should focus on his treatment, and we wished him a long and healthy life. However, things took an unexpected turn when the chairman's eldest son, Adam, suddenly showed up with his family. I had no idea where he had heard the news, but it turns out the chairman had another child besides Maria. This other child was Adam, who had been disowned about 27 years ago, and I had never known anything about it. According to the senior employees, Adam had been quite a troublemaker in his youth. He frequently got into trouble with the police, and every time something happened, the chairman and his wife, Olivia, would have to go and apologize for his behavior. After dropping out of high school, Adam got involved in multi-level marketing schemes and fraudulent activities, which eventually led the chairman to make the difficult decision to disown him. Despite being estranged from the family for a long time, Adam suddenly reappeared one day, pleading with his father, "Dad, I've realized my mistakes. Please forgive me." I was stunned to witness this unfold in our small company, where the president's office and the clerical room were essentially the same space. Adam expressed a strong desire to reconcile with his father and to work in the company, but given his troubled past, it was hard for anyone to believe in his sincerity. The chairman, deeply moved by Adam's plea, apologized to everyone in the company and asked, "I know about Adam's past, but I ask you to give him another chance." Maria and the senior employees, who were well aware of Adam's history of trouble, couldn't fully embrace the idea, but they also couldn't turn down the chairman's heartfelt request. So Adam and his family moved into the annex of the chairman's house. Adam became an employee of the company, and his wife took on household duties. I only saw their daughter once when she visited the company. She seemed to be a college student. The chairman truly believed that Adam had changed for the better after facing many hardships in life. Olivia was overjoyed to have her son back and often talked about how they would rebuild the company together as a family. However, problems soon began to surface. Adam insisted, "I'm the eldest son, so I should be the next president," which created tension between him, Maria, and the site manager. Although Adam tried to appear hardworking in front of the chairman, the truth was that he did very little. He frequently made demeaning remarks like, "Physical labor is for the workers," and You're all just worker ants. Work silently. Naturally, his attitude made him very unpopular among the employees. Some of the younger workers even went directly to the chairman, saying, "I can't work under these conditions." Despite this, both the chairman and Olivia pleaded with everyone, saying, "We will talk to Adam about this. Please try to see the bigger picture." Unfortunately, due to stress or other reasons, the chairman's cancer suddenly worsened, and he was hospitalized 5 months ago. During this time, Adam made a bold declaration. "I am the president," Adam declared, despite many employees advising the chairman and Olivia to stick with their original plan of appointing the site manager as president. However, in the end, they chose Adam, their biological son, over their daughter's husband. This decision stirred up quite a bit of grumbling among the employees, who felt the chairman and Olivia were either blinded by parental love or losing their sharp judgment as they aged. The once harmonious atmosphere of the company became tense and uncomfortable. Tensions were high, and it was clear that the decision had caused a rift. Maria and the site manager, her husband, began working behind the scenes to keep the company running smoothly. This left me handling all the administrative tasks alone, a job that was once shared among Olivia, Maria, and me. Now, I often found myself working overtime, sometimes leaving so late that the date had already changed by the time I got home. Meanwhile, Adam seemed to have no interest in the responsibilities of running the company. He treated administrative duties as if they were effortless, spending his days at hostess bars, betting on horses, or gambling. My relationship with Adam, the new president, took a serious downturn over an issue with expenses. Adam had been using the company's credit card for personal dining and entertainment, and while I had overlooked it to some extent, this time the expense crossed a line. With apprehension, I handed the receipt back to him. "I can't approve this expense," I told him. "What? Why not?" he demanded. "This is for your wife's corrective underwear. It's not related to business, so it can't be expensed," I explained, trying to remain calm. Adam's face flushed with anger. "Don't challenge me. She's the president's wife. It's natural for her to dress well. This is a valid expense," he insisted. "No, that's not how it works. Your wife's underwear can't be considered a business expense," I stammered, struggling to comprehend how the president could justify a $7,000 expense for his wife's corrective underwear. His next suggestion left me even more bewildered. "Then let's turn selling corrective underwear into our new business venture. We'll categorize it as inventory, so it counts as an expense," Adam said, seeming pleased with his idea. I was at a loss for words. "We're a paving company," I managed to say, trying to make him see reason. "So what? We can threaten clients that if they don't buy from us, we'll cancel their contracts. Everyone will buy It's easy money. $31,000 for $7,000 worth of product." Adam chuckled loudly, but I felt horrified. "That's absolutely unacceptable. It will damage our credibility," I snapped at him in anger. From that moment on, I became the target of the president's disdain. Day after day, I endured constant berating from him. The situation became so difficult that I wasn't sure how much longer I could handle it. I thought about quitting many times, but I kept going. My loyalty to the chairman, who had always supported me, and my concern for the team, who would struggle if I left, were strong reasons to stay. The truth was, I couldn't afford to lose my job suddenly either. So I decided to tough it out until the right moment came for me to move on. But then, out of nowhere, I was fired. If I quit abruptly now, it will cause problems for our clients, I thought to myself. Taking a deep breath, I gathered all my courage and confronted the president. "I can't do this. I can't just leave without proper notice and a handover. Even your daughter wouldn't be able to handle the workload right away. Besides, today is the day we need to handle payments," I said in one breath, fully expecting the president to explode in anger. As expected, The president's face turned red with rage. "Shut up! I told you to resign because my daughter is joining the company. Today is your last day. After the payment, let them wait until they come to collect it. There's no need to pay them up front," he barked. "Excuse me, isn't it normal to pay for something once you buy it?" I was shocked and tried to explain it to him calmly, as if I were talking to a child. But the president responded with something so unreasonable that I couldn't believe he was serious. "If that's the case, just threaten to switch suppliers. Tell them we won't make the payment this time, so they should give it to us for free." "What? That's not something we can do, is it?" I was so stunned that I couldn't find the right words to respond. "You're completely useless. My daughter has a college degree. She can handle office work easily. As family, she won't question my expenses like you do. You're all talk and no action. We don't need someone like you in our company. Leave now," the president sneered. It was clear that he intended for his daughter to take over the accounting, so he could justify personal expenses as business expenses. "Oh, is that so? Just remember, I won't regret this," I replied. I realized that words were useless at this point, and my patience had worn thin. I quickly gathered my belongings and left the company. Feeling sorry for our clients, I called Maria. Even though I knew Olivia and Maria were busy taking care of the chairman, this was urgent. I explained everything to her and trusted Maria to handle the situation. Once I left the company, I suddenly found myself with nothing to do. Being fired without notice clearly violated labor standards laws. I decided to report this situation to the Labor Standards Office. I knew the company could get into serious trouble because we were part of the middle company payment system. This system supports small and medium-sized businesses that can't always afford to pay severance on their own. By using this system, I could claim my severance pay and 1 month's salary. There wasn't a rush, though, because I had up to 6 years from my retirement date to apply, and the Labor Standards Office had a 4-year statute of limitations. With my usual professional habits, I started playing out the steps I needed to take and the timeline for my retirement. I decided that I could take it easy for at least a week. Lately, I had been working overtime and weekends without a break, leaving no time for myself. There were many places I wanted to visit once I had some time to relax, so I chose to go on a day trip to the beach for a refreshing break. After enjoying a peaceful day at the beach, I checked my phone, which I had left in a locker. I found several missed calls, emails, and voicemails waiting for me. One email from Maria caught my attention. It said, "The payment process went smoothly. Everything is in order." I felt a sense of relief, despite how abruptly the president had dismissed me. Still, I couldn't shake the guilt I felt for leaving my job in anger. Next, I listened to the voicemail from the company. It was the president's panicked voice saying, "Hey, what's going on? They're saying I'm not the real president. Did you know about this? Explain yourself." I couldn't help but chuckle at his sudden realization. After that, I continued to check my emails and voicemails, and among them was a message from the chairman asking me to come to the hospital. That evening, I promptly headed to the hospital. When I arrived, I found Olivia and the president already there in the room with the chairman. As soon as the chairman saw me, he greeted me from his bed, saying, "Julie, I'm truly sorry for my foolish son." Before I could respond, Adam, the president, arrogantly shouted, "Hey, what's going on? I'm not the official president. Explain yourself." The chairman quickly silenced him with a stern command, "Quiet down." It turned out that right after I had called Maria, she immediately informed the chairman and Olivia about everything that had happened. Upon receiving the news, the chairman had contacted Adam, who had been acting as president, and asked him directly, "Do you really not know anything? So what's the truth?" I calmly explained to Adam, the president, who was still shouting in confusion, "Adam, you didn't have any legal authority. Your role as president was just a title." It might seem confusing, but in business terms, Being the president is a position within the company that doesn't hold legal standing like a representative director does. The representative director is the person who is legally responsible for the company's actions externally. It's a more formal role that requires specific legal procedures to change. I continued, while the title of president can be changed informally within the company, changing the representative director involves complex legal processes. That's why your position didn't carry the legal weight you thought it did. 5 months ago, when Adam was appointed as president, there was strong opposition from Maria, the site manager, and some veteran employees. That's when I proposed a strategy. Adam would be a figurehead president, while the chairman remained the legally responsible representative director. As someone familiar with company procedures and laws, I knew how complicated these things could get. Under my plan, if Adam showed genuine dedication and won over the employees, we would then start the legal process to formalize his presidency. However, if Adam failed to prove himself fit for the role, our backup plan was to either remove him or even consider closing the company, while Maria and the site manager prepared to start a new venture. Maria doubted Adam's ability to change, but the chairman and Olivia continued to believe in him until he unfairly dismissed me. That seemed to wake them up to his shortcomings. If you want to be a leader, you need to learn to take care of your employees. I've told you this many times, the chairman emphasized. Adam retorted, "It's not a big deal, right? Can't we just handle the procedures now?" "No, it's not possible," the chairman explained. "Our company offers stocks to employees who want them, and many of them own shares. Julie owns 20%, making her a major shareholder. We can't ignore her views, and other shareholders won't support you either." As the reality of the situation started to sink in, Adam's face paled. "What? I don't have any shares." "None?" he stammered. "I plan to pass on my shares to you once you proved yourself as president. But I'm deeply disappointed in you. Were you only interested in my wealth, thinking I didn't have much time left?" the chairman said, slumping in despair. Olivia remained silent, visibly upset. Defiantly, Adam responded, "Well, I'm the eldest son. What's wrong with taking what's rightfully mine? The company belongs to me." "I can't forgive you anymore," I said firmly. The chairman bears full responsibility as the representative director of this company. Moreover, as a shareholder, I have the right to call for a shareholders' meeting and propose your removal. I made my stance clear. The president's face drained of color as he realized the seriousness of the situation. "You mean I could be fired?" he stammered. "Adam, you were just a clerk," I replied. "Julie is right. At this point, no one will support you," Olivia interjected, her voice full of concern. She then turned to me, "Julie, I owe you a sincere apology. I regret the trouble caused because of my love for my son. Please tell me what you'd like to do." I confronted the president directly. "Mr. President, I no longer wish to work under your leadership, so I am resigning immediately. However, I expect to receive my severance pay along with 1 month's salary, including unpaid overtime and holiday pay. As a shareholder, I will also take action through the Labor Standards Office to remove anyone who is harmful to the company." As I spoke calmly, I noticed the president's complexion shift from pale to completely white. I continued, informing them that Maria had been actively visiting clients and successfully promoting our new company. Many clients had already decided to switch from our current company to the new one, and most of our employees were planning to follow suit. "That's impossible. I'll sue you," the president threatened, his voice cracking with desperation. But before he could say anything more, the chairman intervened firmly, cutting him off. "I am the representative director. You have no such authority," the chairman declared firmly. The president collapsed to his knees, and I felt a mix of emotions: regret, disappointment, and a strange sense of closure. "Mr. President, it's unfortunate that things had to end this way. If you had changed your approach when you returned, things might have turned out differently." There were plenty of opportunities for understanding if you had made an effort to learn and adapt, I said, trying to convey the missed chances. Ultimately, it was the president who squandered those opportunities, a classic case of reaping what you sow. In the aftermath, the chairman made the difficult decision to shut down the company, leaving Adam unemployed. The president's wife tried to sell the corrective underwear, but her efforts didn't succeed. They faced legal issues due to their aggressive sales tactics and were eventually arrested for their involvement in a pyramid scheme. When Maria returned to her parents' home, she found boxes of unsold underwear left behind. As for their daughter, she found employment elsewhere, although I'm not sure where exactly. As for me, I'm now happily working at the new company started by Maria and the site manager. I cherish the relationships I've built with others and strive to live authentically each day. Life has moved on, and so have I, with a renewed sense of purpose and fulfillment.